Right, lads, you expect from you both, you obey the instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times, and the best of luck to you both. Touch gloves.
So they're scheduled for 6 in the heavyweight division. David Allen in the solid black, Dorian Darch in the black and blue. And Darch has always had some ability. The last few fights he's taken, though, he's been very much in away corner mode. But when he's been beaten, when he's been stopped, it's been by good fighters, the likes of Ian Lewis and Anthony Joshua, Eddie Chambers, Daniel Dubois, Simon Vallely, Nick Webb. It's a good list. And I saw these two having a cup of coffee this morning, actually, in the hotel. They swapped a bit of chat over their respective breakfasts. Darch saying he was trying to eat his way up to bridge the weight gap. There's a good 24 pounds separating them. And Allen replied to it. And then they got together mid-morning, which is always good to see. Good spirit between the pair of them. Allen needs to get the win tonight. And ideally he needs to look good doing it and then get into slightly better shape, shall we say, next time we see him.
Yeah, he's too heavy at the minute. Definitely needs to come in lighter than what he is. Good head movement there from Allen, which we know he has.
And just switching southpaw there early on as well. No longer trained by Darren Barker. He's got Jason Shinfield in the corner with him at the moment, but he's been pretty much training himself these days. And welcome to our viewers on Main Event who just joined us. We are almost 2 minutes into the first round here between David Allen, he's in the black shorts, and Dorian Darch, who's in the black and blue. Darch boxing out of Mountain Ash Boxing Club. That's an old school gym in a very traditional boxing part of Wales. Tony Dixon boxes out of there, and Nathan King, I'm pretty sure, boxed out of there too. Allen looking to try and keep that head on the move.
Yeah, he's just trying to find an opening here. He's jabbing the body. I think he's trying to set the looping right hand over the top up. He's jabbing the body. He's giving a bit of head movement. He's throwing the feints. He's trying to see what Darch does. But I think the right hand over the top is the shot that he's trying to set up here, Allen.
The final 10 seconds of round one and everything at the Sheffield Arena building towards our main event with Kell Brook against Mark DeLuca. That is the top of the bill. Now let's hear from the special one right now. Well, this is a ring that he's graced many times, Kell Brook. He has said that this could possibly be his last one here in Sheffield. He wants to get the win and in good fashion tonight and then kick on towards a world title challenge. DeLuca's ranked as 7 with the WBA, so he could take that ranking if he can get the win. It's for the WBO Intercontinental as well, so that would see him crack the top 15 with them. He's already got the top 15 ranking with the WBC, so it opens up possibilities into the second round here. Scheduled for 6, and Allen just flicking with that jab a little bit. just trying to feint and see if he can draw anything from Darch. Good head movement there from Allen. Darch is falling short with a jab.
Yeah, I mean, he's always had good head movement, really good upper body movement for a big guy. He finds good angles. He can punch it with the head movement. He gets himself into positions where he can actually he can capitalise more. He doesn't. A lot of the time he creates openings and then doesn't throw. Gets caught as well sometimes a little bit too much.
That's a good jab there from Allen. He can throw a good stiff jab. Just before that, Darch had caught him with the right hand. He paid his dues and really came to our attention, Allen, with those fights against the likes of Dillian Whyte, Luis Ortiz. They were tough jobs. The trip to Paris to take on Tony Yoka was a pretty thankless one as well. A couple of fights with Leroy Thomas. The first one I know he regrets, the Bramall Lane. He got edged out by split decision and he froze a bit on the night. It was a fight he could have won. Got himself into great shape for the rematch, but then an unfortunate clash of heads in the very first round robbed him of the opportunity to take the belt. But big wins against Nick Webb and particularly Lucas Brown, and that was only last March, so it's less than a year ago. But this is his first time back since he was punished by David Price, and he was punished too. He was stretchered out of the ring, and it was very worrying there for a little while at the end of that fight for David Allen. Yeah,
he's a tough guy. He's got good upper body movement. He knows how to look after himself. He knows how to survive. Changing roles, I suppose, when he was given the house corner and came out and was the show was built around him a little bit. It changed. I think he felt there was pressure on him. You mentioned the Leroy Thomas fight. He did freeze a little bit, but I think against Lucas Brown, he that was his night. He got a great win there. A fight that was starting to get really difficult, and he found a brilliant body shot. Again, the fight with David Price was a punishing night. Took a lot of big shots. David Price, big guy, big puncher, and was able to keep him at long range, and Dave Allen just couldn't close the distance, couldn't make David Price fight his kind of fight, and it was, as you say, in the end, a real punishing loss.
Dorian Darch hasn't had a bad round here at all. He's been busy, he's landed a few. So a couple of rounds in here, Jason Shinfield just giving David Allen a little bit of a rocket there and saying to him that Dorian Darch won that second round, and I would agree with that actually. I think you have just shaded that for Allen. Wasn't a lot in it, but he just kind of stood off Darch a bit and let him make the running, but that was a good right hand there from Allen at the start of the round, and I think that pep talk from the corner has had the desired effect, because the first couple of rounds it was like he was treating this as a bit of a spar, to be honest, but it's a fight. Good left hook there, and Darch just knocked onto his heels, and down he goes. And that was a good shot, well delivered, well timed. And Darch just looking straight at John Latham there, gets back to his feet. And Allen looking to close in and finish, left to the body there. And Darch is in trouble here, 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, and flat onto his back again. Up onto his haunches, and at this stage of his career you've got to wonder how much he wants this, and he's decided that enough is enough, and Dorian Darch is counted out. So David Allen, after being told off in the corner there by Jason Shinfield for really just allowing the second round to drift unnecessarily, I think was the general gist of what Shinfield was saying to him. He's gone out there, put his foot down at the start of the third, and a very well delivered left hook started it all off, and from that point onwards, with well over 2 minutes remaining in the round, the writing was on the wall. This is what was supposed to happen. This was the point of this fight. for David Allen. He wants to continue fighting. He needed to get back into the saddle, and it'll be interesting to hear what he feels is next on the horizon for him. Nick Webb, since their first fight, has won Ultimate Boxer. That could be interesting. We've got Fabio Wardley and Simon Vallily fighting before not too long. Daniel Dubois is moving on, of course, from domestic level. It's an interesting blend in the big men. And here's the finish, Matt.
Yeah, good body shot in there, and then bang, left hook. That was the shot. He didn't go down, but that was the one that did the damage. And then the body shot again, which knocked him down. Yeah, I think it was a body shot that initially caused it, but then that left hook on the legs, you could see the shot. They went unsteady. Don't think he'd recovered from it properly. And then, you know, he was always going to try and close the show. Then good body shot going in there.
Flat out on his back, and he was really close to us. I was having a good look at him, and he got back to his haunches. He suggested there that he might be willing to get back up and continue, but in the end decided against it, and I can absolutely understand why at 35 years of age. But that's a good number of fights in a row now for Dorian Darch, which have ended in stoppage, so maybe it's time for him to have a little bit of a think about things. But let's go up to our MC for the final particulars. Is David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Latham counts to 10. The official time of the stoppage, 53 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by count out, the Fighting Pride of Conisbrough, the White Rhino, the Doncaster de la Hoya, dazzling David